What is up, everybody? It is JT Sports. I am back to you guys with another video. I want to talk about Tennessee football. Yesterday, Tennessee defeated Kentucky 45-42. It was an incredible game. And not only was it an incredible game, but I believe that this was a huge win for Tennessee in terms of where this program is and where I feel this program is going to be moving forward. I believe that Tennessee football is on the rise. And before I dive into why I feel Tennessee is on the rise, make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure that you guys follow me on all of my social media platforms. My Twitter and Instagram is both at JT Sports _. You can follow those down in the description down below. And also make sure that you guys check out the JT Sports podcast. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys don't know this, but every video that is uploaded on the channel is also available on all podcasts and platforms and audio format. So if you guys want to listen to this on your ride home from work or whatever, make sure that you guys go ahead and check out the JT Sports podcast. All you guys got to do is type in the JT Sports podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from. Make sure that you guys go ahead and check out the JT Sports podcast and leave a 5-star review. Now, when you look at Tennessee, okay, they are 5-4 on the year. And I've been really impressed with how Tennessee has been playing over the last month or so. Now, I know they had a pretty rough stretch where they had to play Alabama and they had to play Ole Miss, and they lost those games. You look at the box score in that Alabama game, it looks like Tennessee got blown out. But if you actually go back and you watch that game, Tennessee was actually giving Alabama a pretty competitive game at one point. And then when you go back and you look at that Ole Miss game, like, that was a game that if the ball would have bounced in Tennessee's direction on a couple of plays, they could have won that game also. But this Kentucky game for me really was the game that kind of gives me the green light of approval on Vols head coach Josh Heupel. Now, I wasn't a big fan of the Josh Heupel signing. As a matter of fact, when they hired Josh Heupel, I was a really big critic because I didn't really feel like he did a great job at UCF. It's not like he did bad at UCF or anything like that, but I kind of feel like at UCF he kind of underachieved, and that's why I wasn't really a big fan of the hiring on Tennessee's behalf. But he has proved me wrong. I mean, the offense has been fantastic this year, and you got to think about it. Even before Hendon Hooker became the lead quarterback for Tennessee this year, this offense was still really effective, even when they were having problems trying to figure out who their quarterback was. And now you look at Hendon Hooker, who had a really great performance against Kentucky the other night, 15-20, 316 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. He also had 41 rushing yards on the ground. I believe that Hendon Hooker has been the most underrated quarterback in America. He's having a fantastic season. He's played really well over the last month or so, especially against Alabama and Ole Miss. And not enough people have been talking about how good Hendon Hooker has been. I believe he's the most underrated quarterback, not only in the SEC, but in America right now. Like, he's playing some fantastic football. He's also a big reason why Tennessee has been really solid this year. Now, when you look at Tennessee's schedule, their last 3 remaining games are going to be against Georgia. They played Georgia this weekend. I'm going to end up previewing that matchup in the next couple of days or so. Then they play South Alabama and Vanderbilt to close off the rest of the season. So Tennessee probably could end up not only being bowl eligible, but also winning 7 games this year. So when you look at Tennessee, this is a program that I definitely feel is on the rise. Now, I'm not saying Tennessee is back. because, I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, and I know how many times I've had my hopes up thinking that the program was going in the right direction, saying that the U was back, and then, Miami ends up disappointing me. Same thing with USC and Texas fans. But for Tennessee, I definitely feel like this program is definitely on the rise. I like the infrastructure that Josh Heupel has kind of established so far. I'm really excited to see his offense to come once he's finally able to get all his recruits in, and he's able to get some great recruiting classes in. So Josh Heupel, gotta give him a round of applause, man, because he has definitely exceeded my expectations. And that Kentucky game, man, I know a lot of Kentucky fans, if they end up watching this video, they're probably going to be like, Tennessee shouldn't have won that game. The refs handed Tennessee that game. And I can understand that because he did have a really critical face mask penalty that was obviously missed. Okay, the referees for the SEC this year haven't really been all that great. But at the end of the day, if you don't want the referees to affect the outcome of the game, don't put yourself in a position that allows the officiating to end up determining the end result of the game. So, the referees probably were a huge reason why Tennessee won late in that game. But overall, a win is a win. And you got to give kudos up to Tennessee because they played a really fantastic game. And last week, I picked Tennessee to win this game. A lot of people were really surprised I picked Tennessee, but Tennessee has been playing some really good football. As a matter of fact, if Tennessee was to play Florida again, I think Tennessee will probably beat Florida by 2 scores. Now, they play Georgia this week. Now, I believe that Tennessee is going to be the best opponent that Georgia has played all year. And that may sound crazy to a lot of you guys. Even if you're a Vols fan, you're probably saying, JT, you think that Tennessee is the best team that Georgia has faced so far this year? I believe it because Tennessee is clicking on all cylinders. Now, I'm not a really big fan of their defense, okay? Their defense gave up over 600 yards to Kentucky. And if you go back and you just look at the box score of this Kentucky game that they played in this past Saturday, you're probably going to end up saying, how the heck did Kentucky lose this game? They dominated time of possession. They had over 600 total yards of offense. They were effective on third down. Well, Tennessee's offense couldn't be stopped. They also had a really big interception as well. So for Tennessee's defense, I'm not really a big fan of it. You still pretty much have to outscore everybody you play. But one thing about Tennessee's defense is they are pretty good when it comes to getting big stops at critical moments. They have a really good pass rush. And also on top of that, they're one of the best teams in America when it comes to creating havoc plays, which havoc plays are plays that result in tackles for loss or loss of yardage. So Tennessee's really good in that department. So even though their defense isn't the best statistically and they do give up a lot of points, they still are really good in critical moments like we saw this past Saturday in that Kentucky win. So this was a very big win for Tennessee. I know this fan base is really happy, and I'm really excited to see what the future has in store for Tennessee football moving forward. And I'm really excited to see Tennessee face off against Georgia this weekend because Georgia hasn't really been tested by anybody this year. And offensively, nobody seems to know how to effectively move the ball on Georgia. I think Tennessee may be the school who could finally find a way to attack that Georgia defense because I think that their offensive line is pretty good, but I really like how fast and how explosive that this Tennessee offense is able to generate big plays. And we really haven't seen Georgia's secondary been tested. We haven't really seen Georgia be pushed at all on the defensive side of the football. Now, Georgia most likely will have their way with Tennessee offensively. They're probably going to be able to do anything they want to do on Tennessee's defense, but that Tennessee offense is more than capable of being able to put up points, and that's what should scare you if you are a Georgia fan, because Tennessee can put up a lot of points and they can do it quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I'm really excited about Tennessee facing off against Georgia, but overall, if you are a Tennessee Vols fan, you have to be feeling really good about the state of the football program and where this football program potentially could be heading. Now, I don't want to get too overboard with the Josh Heupel praise because he still has a lot to do, but I'm really impressed with what Tennessee has done this season, and that win that they had against Kentucky was monumental for this program. So you guys let me know how you guys feel about Tennessee football down in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and college football videos, and I will see you guys with another video.